My name is Bill Ross. I'm from Canada. I've been a member of the International Association for Impact Assessment for a little over a quarter of a century now, and I've been engaged in the professional practice of impact assessment since the 1970s. What I'd like to do is to talk a little bit about why one would do impact assessment, because that's a really important question. At my age, I've seen development projects with some adverse effects that I get largely environmental, and it strikes me that anticipating them and preventing them from happening is a far wiser strategy than reacting to them and trying to cure them after the fact. It avoids the effects, it avoids the social consequences of the effects, and it should save a whole lot of money if you can avoid bad effects than if you have to clean up afterwards. And basically, that's the entire argument. The real issue is that back in the 70s, we started introducing environmental impact assessment legislation. I would call it impact assessment legislation today. And the intent was to develop and make available the kind of information necessary for decision makers about development projects to avoid these adverse effects. Now, when I say decision makers, I don't just mean the regulators. I mean others that are equally important. The project proponents learn what they need to do with their developments in order to avoid the adverse effects. The public learns about this and therefore is more convinced to accept projects that are good ones than they would otherwise be. And perhaps especially important is those people who are affected by the development projects that are being proposed. They can learn through impact assessment what are the consequences of the development projects that are proposed. This is really a simple look before you leap principle, and one that seems such common sense that I don't understand the reason why there's any question about it at all. But these days there seems to be some adverse reaction trying to think that maybe this impact assessment costs too much. Well, learn to do it more effectively, because if you focus on avoiding adverse effects, you'll be far better off than if you just let them go ahead and have to clean up afterwards. That's the argument for impact assessment, neither more nor less. Thank you.